What's up, everybody? I'm Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah,
and this is the Music Report Card,
where albums are reviewed based on the vocals, lyrics,
the production, and the sonic vibe, or the flow. You know what I'm saying? Just let it go. Hey, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow.
All right, so today we're going to be reviewing Tori Kelly.
Yes, her new EP is entitled Solitude. And I'm excited about Miss Tori Kelly. She's one of the vocal greats of the day.
Yes.
And let's talk about her album. But first, let's talk about our music news.
All right, y'all. So the quarantine, people have been getting it in during the quarantine.
Getting it all the way in.
So Gucci Mane and his baby mama,
Keisha K. Award,
are expecting.
Yes. Also,
So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
And then John Legend.
Yes. And Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow.
And they've been getting wild, y'all. Because there's another baby on the way.
Number 3.
And the babies are so cute.
They
so
are.
I'm excited to see what this.
I love seeing them on Instagram.
Yeah, what this new baby's gonna be good.
Yeah, congratulations. And if there's anybody out there, that's been listening to John Legend and seeing everybody else getting it in during the quarantine, hey.
So check out the Wild video, because that's where it was revealed.
Yes.
That they were expecting their third child.
Yes. Well, in other news, there's a lot of new music coming out from all genres. We've got Miley Cyrus. She released her new song and video titled
Always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it move. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the old Miley.
Such an upstager. But yeah, she released her new song and video titled Midnight Sky, which is really cool. I like how she's like,
I haven't even listened to it yet.
It's really dope. And she's got her like mullet hairstyle. She's like throwing it back to the 80s. So dope visual and song from Miley. Alicia Keys and Khaled did a collaboration. I love their song. And it's basically...
You love something from Alicia Keys?
She's back. Like, I really feel like she's back. Like, I have not liked her music, I'm not gonna lie, in like a couple of years.
He's not an Alicia fan
at all. But the new single and the new song are really, really dope. So if you haven't seen that video, make sure you go on YouTube and check that out. There's also new music coming from gospel greats, the Clark sisters. They're releasing their deluxe album, so I'm really excited about them. Team Karen all day. We've also got PJ Morton, who is releasing his first gospel album, which I'm really excited about.
Me too.
He's got some incredible features from Kim Burrell, Mary, Leandria Johnson. I mean, like a lot of heavy hitters. So big ups to PJ Morton for being able to pull all these. Daryl Walls, Zachary Cortez, like just amazing singers. So I'm really excited to hear his next project, which I believe comes out on August 24th. Then we've got Sierra, who also dropped a new video for her single entitled Rooted, and it's noted that she actually shot the video 2 days before giving birth. So when you look at the video, you'll see she's very, very, very pregnant. The song is really dope, but yeah, just a lot of great music out there. So if you guys haven't been keeping up with the Music Report Card, make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Music Report Card, where we keep you up to date with all the latest music news.
All right, so let's get into the review of Miss Tori Kelly's EP, Solitude.
So what are your top? Let's start with your top songs.
Okay, so my top songs, my first one is Don't Take Me Home.
Okay.
I love Don't Take Me Home. I think it felt really good with the melodies, the range of the chest voice, where she, at the end, she went in and she's like singing way at the top of her range, belting that out, chest voice. And her tone is just so amazing. The runs, all of that. I mean, just to me, that song, I love it's like I'm so in love with you, and I want to be here in this moment. I don't want this moment to end. So whatever you do, just pretty much don't take me home. Like, we can go somewhere together, we can go do this, we can go do that, but don't take me home. I'm not ready to go home.
Yeah, I actually love that song as well. It actually made my top 3 as well. I just love the concept of the song. I think it's a brilliantly written song. I think that she definitely used the top of her range, like you mentioned. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard it, I went back and forth because I was listening as a critic. And I'm like, I don't know if that all of that was called for the song. I feel like it was kind of misplaced. But then I'm like, she's Tori Kelly, so she can kind of do that. It kind of reminded me of what a lot of people say about Christina Aguilera, where she kind of oversang it a little bit. But with that being said, I think that she definitely delivered in the song, and I don't know that I know what part you're talking about, and I feel like maybe it was overdone, but it's so good that it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't think it was overdone. I think it was the passion. Like, who really wants to go home when you have the feelings and the love for this person that you're with? Like, that she had to get that across. And that's when she kind of went ham. So
yeah, and I think that it's. I know you talk a lot about vocal, was it inflections or whatever, where you're like giving like some of the lower registers and you switch to the top. So she definitely gave that. And I guess with that being said, she gave a great vocal delivery on that.
And it had like this nostalgic feeling too that I kind of fell in love with. I almost hated it a little bit, but then I also at the same time loved it. It kind of felt a little bit too not current enough for me.
Okay.
Almost, but the vocals were so amazing that I was, I was okay with it. All right.
So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our next favorite songs. What's next?
So my next favorite song is "Time Flies." So what I loved about the time that flew by, was this. Just the vocals, of course, she's still doing giving you the runs, giving you all that I love just the breathiness of that song. But I also love that it almost, to me, it had some swag to it, and it felt like it was actually a rap song that was redone with an acoustic singer.
Yeah.
And that's just what it gave me. It felt like it was this redone song, but it was her own.
Yeah, and I actually had to like really think about it. I'm like, like when she was saying TT, it reminded me of the Drake song. I can't remember the name of this song.
The Kiki, Do You Love Me song?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Where she's like TT, like, you know what I'm saying? It's some of the lines are very reminiscent of that. And so I'm like, well, did I miss a song that maybe somebody redid Drake's and then remixed it? But no, like you said, it's her own. And that's what initially, I don't know, again, it was, I was kind of 50-50 with it because it was so reminiscent. I'm like, oh, this is not really original. But then once I went back and found out that there was no other song outside of the Drake song, it kind of started to make sense, and I started to really get into it. I love when she does guitar. I remember her first single, Nobody Loved. I still remember her Billboard performance where she just played the guitar and just let her voice ring out. I think that is where she is. We talked about Sweet Spots a long time ago with Vivian. And that's where she really shows her strength, is when she's just letting her voice out and playing her guitar. So that song is very, very reminiscent of why I fell in love with Tori. So that's one of my favorites too. Number 2 for me.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right, we're kind of in line. I mean, it is an EP, so
it's only 5 songs.
Yeah. But my third favorite song was "Unbothered." "Unbothered" felt like this. It had some swag, but it also felt like an inspirational and empowering anthem type feel to it, where it was just like, I'm unbothered. I'm moving on. I'm giving Taylor Swift on some new shit.
Oh. Yeah. Unbothered didn't make my favorite. I don't know. I don't know what it is with the Tori Kelly EP. I kind of felt it was like a love-hate thing. I was not really into Unbothered because it reminded me of something. I was glad we talked about this also with Givian, that she gave us an up-tempo record on the album or on the EP. But it just, I don't know, it was so nostalgic. And, I love a good nostalgic moment, but it felt very, very, I want to say almost outdated.
The whole thing, or are you talking about the song?
The music, what she was doing on top of it vocally wasn't necessarily.
Are we talking about the song though?
The song, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the music.
I don't know if you're talking about the whole thing.
The beat, the beat of Unbothered for me was very, very. I hate to use the word outdated, but we're gonna say outdated. How about that? And so that's why it didn't make my favorite. One of my favorites. It is it's a nice song. It's easy to listen to, kind of fun. Yeah. But one of my missteps actually was Unbothered. So
I mean, I think with Unbothered, I do like that. What I did like about it was it's one of those songs where you're feeling. I felt like a couple different things happening all at once, from the the anthem feel to the nostalgic moment to the swag of it. Like, it was just all these different feels combined together, and it was just like this little roller coaster that I was taking on, and I kind of rocked with it. So, but what's your third?
My third favorite was Value, and we've talked about this before off camera, but I am in love with like the counter melodies that kind of, I would say, was made famous probably by Mariah Carey, and she does that like in the
Sure,
background.
wasn't Brandy that made it famous? The vocal by her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure. But Brandy probably, I think she did it better. But, but I mean, we can talk about who made it famous, you know.
We can talk about who made it better, or who did it better for sure.
Yeah, we definitely can talk about who did it better.
Definitely Mariah Carey.
Okay, well, that's not this
Numbers
episode.
don't lie. Check the scoreboard. But go ahead. Value.
Values. I love the fact that she mixed a lot of her airy tone, and then you hear all of these counter melodies in the background. Just everything just drifting, and it just takes you on this emotional high. And I just loved the message of the song was incredible. If you're feeling down, it's one of those songs you can put on and kind of pick you up and give you some good lyrical content, and that's why I chose that as my last favorite song on the album. And that's it for me.
All right,
Okay,
so let's before we get into the grading, were there any ones that you didn't really care for?
No, I mean, outside of Unbothered, I think, again, it's only 5 songs. I think it was well crafted. I love the fact that she gave us an up-tempo. I love the fact that she gave us what we know and love her for. So yeah, I wouldn't say there was any major downfalls of the EP. It's just some things that I didn't personally connect to.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a personal preference as a fan, a music fan. But outside of that, I think if we're just judging it as a critic, we can't really downplay what we have here.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it was okay. I think the first song was one that it didn't grab me. It felt very outdated, and I think with our previous reviews that we've done, I've been excited about that first song. Like, what are people going to come out with? And out the gate, it just didn't do anything for me. It just felt kind of dated. So I love Tori Kelly. I love her voice, and I just expected so much more coming in and throughout, which we'll talk about that through the grading.
Yeah, and I think especially with Tori, I don't know that she has necessarily found her niche. I feel like she's got this incredible gift, but then I feel like with her first pop album, I feel like it was kind of all over the place, and then she came back with the gospel album, which was, I know you loved a couple of the songs on there, vocally amazing, but I still feel like kind of all over the place musically, and so I don't know as an artist that she has found her niche. I think she needs to maybe really get with a team of producers that really get her vocally and what she can do, and I think then she'll find really true great artistry. And I think that for me, that's what Tori has to find, just because it just seems like she's not censored, or I guess within Solitude.
You were thinking what I was thinking. But let's get on to the grading.
Yeah, let's get on to the grading. So let's talk about her vocals.
So for vocals, I'm giving Tori a 5. I mean, not even just because I know what Tori's capable of, but I can still hear it in the album. She still gave what she needed to give vocally in this particular EP.
Yes.
She gave what she needed to give.
Absolutely.
So I can't take anything away from how she does what she does, and the tone, and switching up the tones, and the breathiness, the falsetto, the runs down, the runs up, all of that.
Up are amazing.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. So vocals, I definitely gave her a 5.
Yes, I gave her a 4.5, only because there's always room to grow, and I didn't want to just come and just blast her out with a 5. I would like to have her experiment a little bit more with some even lower registers. She's really good with her high, airy, breathy ones, but I think she's able to go and give us some low. So I give her 4.5, but again, no slight to Tori. We all know she's amazing.
All right, well, lyrics, I gave a 3.75. I was kind of almost a 4. I was kind of almost a 3.5, but it fell somewhere in the middle for me. I didn't feel like anything, especially with what I've been hearing musically through quarantine, I just didn't feel like there was anything that really just impacted me or didn't walk away with anything for real, for real. Like I loved some of them, and I was like, okay, I can rock with this. This feels good. But am I gonna go back and continue to listen? I don't know. I don't know if it was memorable enough for me to want to go back to listen, and that's not good when it's only 16 minutes long.
Yeah, and for me, I actually gave her a 4 on her lyrics, and the biggest downfall, I guess, for me is that some of the lyrics, although the music in some instances felt good, they came off a little cheesy. There were a couple of songs where the lyrics were very reminiscent of something that we've already heard before. And not saying that every song has to be, this eclectic, new, never heard before lyric, but then when you start using stuff that's like cliche, it kind of turns me off as far as lyrics are concerned. So that's why I gave her a 4 on her lyrics for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that it is important to, like, you can do things that are cliche and you can grab things that you've heard before because people love what they're familiar with. If it feels like something else that was great, they're going to love and go for that. But again, I think it is just way too cliche and a little bit too far on that side and not as much on the other side of being having a little bit more familiarity to it. So.
Yeah, call me Tori, I got you. Right now, one hit for you.
All right, production. Moving right along. I gave a 4 for production. I think that it was good, but it wasn't where it needed to be for it to excite me fully and all of that. I mean, it was great production. It wasn't excellent production for me. So that's where I landed with my score on the production.
And weirdly enough, we're in alignment because I also gave her a 4 again. Everything is just very good. It's okay. It gets you by. There's nothing else really out at this time as far as musically. There's not a lot of new artists coming out with full bodies of work. So, it's okay for this week. But when you start comparing her to some of the other albums that we've heard throughout the year from Brandy and Taylor Swift and John Legend and all of these other guys, Giveon, and all these other albums that we've listened to over the last few months, it doesn't really equal, what we've heard. So I'm definitely in agreement with the production.
And not that I want to be clear that I'm not comparing them. I think I'm maybe expecting a little more from what I've heard. And I guess that is comparing them, and I'm not trying to compare them because they're definitely in different lanes, but it just didn't hit the mark for me knowing what I've heard from Tori, from her covering other people's songs, from her all types of different things. So let's go on to the sonic flow of the album. So I gave a 4.
Okay.
And I think it flowed well. I think the flow was good. But again, I think everything just didn't give me what I needed. So my flow was a little messed up just in hearing some of the songs and then feeling just kind of outdated. And then I get to something that feels a little bit more current, but still didn't maybe meet the mark. I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't feeling this one all the way. Love Tori Kelly, and vocally she's amazing, but I just wasn't all the way there with every song. Yeah,
and again, I'm in agreement. I also gave her a 4, and mostly because, again, some of the songs were just very, they were just okay, and I felt like we've heard them before, and I'm always for pushing artists to do better, and hopefully, with this EP, it's a pre-whatever to her next album, which she will push a lot harder and give us more of her heart, more great vocal, more great production, more great everything. So for me, I'm also good with the 4 on the Sonic Flow.
All right, so when we tally all of those up, it gives her an average of a 4.16, which actually turns out to be an 83.13%.
Yes.
Which, drum roll, turns out to be what score, Camarray?
She gets a B.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, again, the EP is only 5 songs, but we encourage you guys to go out and listen to the EP. Go support the artists that you love.
It's still good, definitely. I'm not saying that it's not good. I just don't know that it's excellent.
It could have been.
I don't know that it's great. I don't know that it's above good.
Yeah.
And I just expect more because I'm excited about Tori Kelly. When I hear she's performing somewhere live or doing whatever, I'm excited about that. So I was just a little let down by what I'm hearing. So, but either way, it's a B. I think that's still good, and it's an EP at the same time as well. So
yes. So if you guys agree or disagree with us, make sure you drop down in the comments, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With that being said, I'm Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah, and this is the Music Report Card. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much.